So today we're going to talk about liquid fertilizers, why I think it's important to use them in certain situations, or why I've found in the past that has really helped my lawn during certain situations. And we'll make a couple applications and show you a couple products that you can use for that as well. Many of you are probably familiar with more of a granular program. You get into lawn care, maybe it's a 4-step program, or maybe it's just a few granular applications that you make per year. And there's nothing wrong with that. This can work very well for many people. So for cool season lawns, a couple key granular applications per year can definitely be the basis of your lawn program. So I use more of a hybrid program, which is using a couple key granular applications per year, mainly in the fall for cool season lawns. And then I utilize some other liquid products to get me through the rest of the season, maintain color, maintain just a little bit of growth, and not leave out that summer portion, which a lot of fertilizer programs do, where they're not applying anything whatsoever. But for those of you who want to go the extra mile, I think that liquids can really make a difference in your program and maintaining that color and growth throughout the whole season. Now, if you don't have irrigation and you're going to let your yard kind of just go through that summer portion, then I definitely wouldn't be applying too much during the summer. But if you do have irrigation, or you're trying to keep things green and consistent as much as possible for cool season grass, then this works well to do some liquid applications during this time frame. You can do these throughout any portion of the season. It doesn't have to be just in the summer, but this is the time frame when I typically really move towards those liquids to maintain all those things that I'm looking for. So today we're going to be using my favorite lawn supply company fertilizer, which is EqualizORR. Lawn Supply Company is a brand that I started just a couple seasons ago to bring homeowners some specific products that I didn't really see in the market that can be brought directly to you. You don't have to go to any specialty stores. You get them right on my website. This is also a soluble fertilizer, which means that you do the mixing at home. So it comes in a granular form. You put it into water, you put it in your backpack sprayer, and you spray. So that saves you some money because you're doing the mixing yourself. We're not adding any water to it. You just supply your own water, and we're not having to ship that weight either. You get more applications out of this for a better price, so that's why I wanted to make sure I could bring these soluble fertilizers to people. And this one specifically is my go-to throughout the season, every 2 to 3 weeks if I'm on a liquid type program, to maintain that color and growth. So you can go with a 4 to 8 ounce rate of this. It has some nano silica technology in it as well that we were able to use to lower that application rate but still get a better response out of it. So you're getting more applications out of it for your money, and for most people get many applications out of this product. Today we're going to be using the 8 ounce rate. So the easiest way to do this is actually to use a kitchen scale. I'm going to be filling up my sprayer with 4 gallons of water, so I need 8 times 4. We're going to do 1 gallon per 1,000 square feet, so we need 8 times 4, so we need 32 ounces of this product. Then we're going to put this into some lukewarm water. You can do it with cold water. It will dissolve in there. Just make sure you stir it up well. But if you have access to just some lukewarm water, that will help speed up that soluble product dissolving in there, and you'll be able to just make sure that you get all of it dissolved in the water. Now, if you'd like to add anything else to it, sometimes I add a little bit of an iron product too, which is our greener product. This is a liquid product, but we have a range of rates that you can use just depending on how much color response you want. If your lawn has pretty decent color already, you can go with those lower rates. If you're looking for a little more pop out of it, then you can go to the higher rate on the label if you would like. This will go into the equalizer if you wanted to, so that's typically something that I will add to it just for a slight extra boost there. To stir all this up, I usually use a 5-gallon bucket instead of doing it in my sprayer just to make things easy. Then I'll pour all that solution into the sprayer. Then we'll walk evenly over the area. If you've never done any spraying before, make sure that you just put plain water in a sprayer. Go walk on your driveway and get a sense of how the sprayer works and how quickly you need to walk to put out about a gallon of water per 1,000 square feet. So again, if you've never done this, definitely practice with some plain water on an area before you do that. Now, some of you might be comfortable backpack spraying and some of you might not be interested in that. That's totally fine as well, and that's why I think Simple Lawn exists and why these hose end liquid fertilizer applications can work well. I use these as well sometimes just when I'm looking for a quick application. I don't want to get out my spray equipment, clean it all up and do that. So this is a good way to do that. Just hook it up to a hose, spray, and you're done. Today we're going to be using the 1648 out of this box. Again, you can hook up your hose end. This bottle will cover 3,200 square feet. You're also applying a decent amount of water with this, so if you're not absolutely perfect on a few areas, you get a little more on certain areas, a little less on certain areas. That's why this hose end works well too for beginners, because you are applying some water with it. Not going to risk damaging things unless you just sit in one specific area for a certain amount of time. But easy to use, no cleanup of a backpack sprayer, so if you'd rather go that option, definitely check that out. If you're interested in any of the Simple Lawn Solutions products, including this box, I have a 10% off coupon that's good anytime. It's not specific to a certain sale time. It's good 10% on any Simple Lawn Solution product anytime just using my code. I will link that in the description and in the pinned comment. So you can get that on this box or any of the other products that you want. My recommendation would be to apply this in early evening. That's about the time frame now that I'm applying. Let that sit on the leaf of the plant, and then in the next morning morning, somewhere around whenever you start your irrigation, which should typically be 4, 5, 6 a.m., something like that, so that you're not watering through the nighttime, but you're starting it right before it gets to the daylight hours. Again, that's the best time to water. I would run some water on this just to water everything in. You are applying it to the leaf of the plant, and you are utilizing that, but if any of it goes to the soil or any of it's still sticking on there and you want to wash it down into the soil, that's just going to help to make sure that you're utilizing all of the product possible. That also gets into the next thing, which some people get confused by: liquids versus granular, and the amount that you're putting down on the ground as far as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. With granulars, you can apply much more, and that's typical. 3/4 of a pound of nitrogen up to a pound of nitrogen going onto the ground. That's going to sit there on the ground and it's going to be dissolved in order for the plant to use it. So that's going to take some time. A lot of these fertilizers are using coated products now, so that those are slow release over a certain amount of time. With liquids, you're applying it directly to that leaf. So it's important that, one, you use enough water that you're not going to burn that leaf tissue. Two, that you realize that the amount of fertilizer is going to be a lot less because of that. So we're only applying about 0.1 to 0.2 pounds of nitrogen at a time when you're doing liquids. And if you are on that higher end, 0.2 pounds or so, make sure that you're applying enough water and that you sufficiently water it in, just so you don't have any issues with burn on that leaf tissue. As I said, with Equalizer, we have some technology in there that allows you to apply a lower rate but still get a better response out of it. So this rate is actually just under 0.1. It's not a whole lot of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium that you're putting down, but you get a great response out of it. That's the one key thing, liquids versus granular, on the amount that you're putting down, and why you need to apply liquids more often, every 2 to 3 weeks on this type of thing, because you're only applying the lower amount of nutrients there. So hopefully that clears that up a little bit, liquids versus granular. If you've been interested in liquid fertilizer or trying to understand why you might want to use it, hopefully that helped today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.